Yeah, thank you for speaking with a donor-conceived person, first of all. Yeah, I grew up in the Riverland. I'm a small-town girl, and I just assumed that they used a nice, healthy, altruistic man. My mum then had me, and I just assumed everything was above board. But I've discovered really pretty shocking things that just keep escalating, unfortunately.
So, when you discovered your biological father's identity, were you able to meet with him? What was that process like?
Yes, I'd waited quite a few years until the legislation changed so that he could access counselling. I thought if a man hasn't really thought about this for 30 years, that he should probably have some counselling around that and be helped through the process. So when those laws changed, I did tread really lightly and try to make sure that everyone was supported in that journey so that it could go as well as it could. But I did eventually meet him with his care team in the most supported way that I could. He has mental illness and did when he was donating. So that was an extra layer of difficulty. And then also thinking, what does that mean for me and my siblings genetically? And he had told me all the 7 fake names that he used at 10 different places. Wow. So that could be 10 times 10 times 7 because of the 10 family guideline limit. But on the codes that I've found, I just keep finding siblings with different donor codes. That's meant to be only 1 per donor, but there are 33 children and to 22 families on one of those lists alone. So the clinics have created families double the guideline limits. So my estimate of 700 is conservative in some ways. Wow. And only accounts for being in Victoria. So I've got siblings created in South Australia, Victoria and Queensland that I'm aware of. And Queensland only put legal limits in last year of family numbers. Victoria did in 2010, but my siblings are created from 1984 to 2003.
Jeez. Wow, I mean, it is such a minefield for you, Catherine, to try and navigate through this and make sense of it all. I mean, when you're talking about numbers that big, what's the next step for you?
Well, I don't believe that my case is going to be the smallest. I think that we're only going to be seeing this grow. There are 300,000 people that have been conceived via IVF, and these experts that are telling you that mix-ups are rare don't actually have the data on that. So we all need to do ancestry DNA to find out who we're actually related to so we can have accurate medical information.
There's obviously privacy concerns here on all sides, right? And you have gone public with it. Will you try and meet up with your potential siblings?
Yeah, I have before. Obviously, we're starting at a pretty difficult beginning for our friendships and our relationships. You know, there's a lot of wedgies to catch up on, but you know, when we're sharing medical information really soon, you get to know each other on a very personal level very quickly, especially when this is a pre-cancer condition that I'm trying to warn my siblings about. And I think they should all actually be able to access counselling as well. So I just want it to be as supported as possible because it's very highly likely that their parents haven't told them that they're donor conceived. But my mum and my dad's my stepdad and he's my dad, and nothing will change that. I'm very much like him. There is absolutely nurture involved in this, but my parents raised me to do the right thing, and I believe morally the right thing is that my siblings have this information and are able to extend their life. Like if someone had medical information for my mum that was going to extend her life, I would have wanted them to try to get it to her. And so that's why I'm trying now. The clinics won't. They can. We have Narel's law in Victoria, which says a clinic may give that information, but all they want to do is give that information to the addresses that they have on file, which are between 23 and 40 years old. So
it's a huge task that you've taken on, Catherine, but one that, as you say, is so completely necessary, you know, considering all those genetic implications that you've outlined there and what this could mean for potentially thousands of people out there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll catch up with you again soon because I fear this story, this isn't just the beginning of it, really.
That's for sure.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
yes.
and the guidelines around donors.
Yeah, well, we need uniformity right across the country. The fact that each state has a different policy around it is just crazy.
A lot more focus, yeah.